Social Media University.
Maybe some of the government money, they're looking how to spend it. And it's just a lot of people just trying to get into investing, which is awesome, right? That's, I think, it's an awesome thing for people to do.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, like you've been working in investing for a long time, externally, even beyond YouTube. But YouTube is kind of how you got into the world of like your public image and hitting the mass public. So I think last time you were on the show, were you even at 10K subs?
Probably not, man. It was probably just getting started. So
yeah, which is insane. 'Cause I think you might have been at like 4,000 or 5,000 at the time. And then now, like, you're gonna pass 65,000 today. It looks like, which is absolutely insane, man. So first of all, congratulations on that growth. And then I'm always curious to hear about what worked for different people. So what can you attribute your growth to?
Thanks. First of all, Ben, yeah, it's been good growth. Obviously could be better. As I always like to say,
anything.
you see people soaring by you, but it's at the end of the day, I can't complain. And congrats to you too, man. I see your channel's picking up some steam too, which is,
Thank you.
I mean, I remember when you started it off and it was just, I think 1,000 subs when I first gave it across you. But anyways, I really found that focus played a huge part in the growth. So probably if you look back to the podcast when we first chatted, please everybody, okay. Americans, Canadians, beginners, advanced people, just all sort of generic. One was that over the past couple of years, I've really niched down into Canadian beginners. We're here in Canada, and that's what people can relate to. It's in the investing world, it's similar, US and Canada, but there is a pretty big difference in the accounts you open and the way you manage things. So a lot of people can relate to the Canadian side of things, and the more and more surprisingly, the more and more growth I saw. Okay. So actually, I mean, that's kind of my takeaway is, I don't know what, I mean, regardless, whatever field someone's in, if you can really specialize in something, you're kind of going to be the expert in that, right? So that was a really big benefactor for me.
Yeah, that's super interesting because so many people fight that so hard. Like they don't want to put themselves in that box, but like you're living, breathing proof that there was riches in the niches, as like the saying goes. So you were able to. So what was that aha moment that made you shift course and instead of being a generalist, you became a specialist? Like what was that moment, or like how did you see that was an opportunity?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't an aha moment, I'd say. It wasn't like an overnight flip of the switch. It was just a kind of gradual kind of, accumulating feedback, looking at the analytics in the sense that I can see where my viewers are. I can see which videos do well and what people want to see. And it's, don't get me wrong. I love talking about the US market and to US audience, but the Canadians really resided with me. And it was kind of like a feedback loop. And it was just like, oh, more Canadian content. And then the algorithm clearly started being more beneficial to me for Canadian stocks. Okay. So Canadian videos, I should say. A lot of times we talk about stocks, but yeah, main idea is that it was kind of a progression of just feedback from the audience, from the analytics that kind of got me gradually this way, not an overnight switch.
Okay. So you just put stuff out there and you collected feedback and then made a decision from that point with more information.
Kind of narrowed it down as you go, right? Test it out at first. If you think about it, maybe my first year on YouTube was just testing out, seeing what works, and then refining to now. That's what I do. I specialize for Canadian beginners. That's kind of my niche.